location of all the records which satisfy one or more condition. Okay, you can we have some experiments like uh, write a program to find whether um, element 20 is present in the array or not. Okay, for what we are doing, in the sense we are writing a program for searching element number 20. Okay, so that is nothing but searching a particular element in the given data structure to check whether it is present or not. Second, you can check if it is present, at what location it is present, because you don't know that the data structure which is arranged in the sequential manner or in a random manner. So depending upon this, you have to find out that if the element is present or not, or if there, then what is searching. Inserting, as the name itself indicates, that what is the meaning of inserting? You are adding a particular record into the structure. Means, for example, I have a of 5, that is array of 5 elements at particular location. Let's say a of 3 index. At that location, you are adding some particular number. So I can insert a number into the data structure. Also, I can delete a number or remove the number from the data structure. So inserting and deleting are quite obvious operations that we are performing since beginning. Okay, so adding something and removing something, that is called as inserting and deleting operations on a data structure. Sorting, what is the meaning of sorting? The sorting gives you only two ways, that is either you have to arrange your all the data or record in a particular manner. That manner must be either in a smallest to largest or opposite largest to smallest. So sorting is, you are applying some kind of a logic to sort the data which is already present on your system, and making it as per the program needs or as per the program demands. It can be either ascending or it is you can say that it is descending. Okay, that is called as the sorting. We know that these inserting, deleting, sorting are the quite obvious operation we are performing from the C programming in first year. Next, merging, as the name indicates, merging is nothing but combining of two different sorted files into the single sorted file. What is the meaning? According to the definition, if I have two arrays, array A and array B, I have sorted them in particular manner, like say ascending, okay, smallest to largest. Separately, I have sorted array A, array B. After sorting it, as my program demands, I don't want two separate sorted file, but I want a single file. So I can combine all the array number A and array B into the single array, let's say C. So array C will have all the elements in the sorted manner, right, of A and B. So that is nothing but you are merging a particular you are merging two separate particular entity into the single one. So these are the basic operations you are supposed to follow on all data structure. Okay, if you have your pen, paper or anything, or if you want to take a snapshot of this, take a snapshot, because this is the 3-mark question in your theory exam. Okay, Batu theory exam. Okay, so whatever I am discussing, just listen it carefully, because at every moment I'll tell you which question appeared in your previous examination all. If you are writing it, make a note that important questions, or in exam questions, or whatever as per your convenience, that this question was appeared in your Batu examination end semester your theory paper. Okay, describe all the operations that you can perform on a data structure. 3-mark question. You are supposed to write this 6 operations, traversing to merging, and you have to show 2 example like array or linked list. Okay, so according to that you work it. I hope you have recorded this information. Okay, now I'll move to next one. So the chapter itself consisting of information about array, one dimensional array, two dimensional array, how you are representing array, in memory, how the operations are performed on an array, how to process a sparse matrix and transpose of sparse matrix. Okay, from that, array introduction, one dimension array, two dimension array, and how the arrays are represented on your memory, and basic operation that you are performing on a memory, on a array are like inserting an element, deleting an element, and so on. We are familiar with first 4 points, like what is array, 1D, 2D, memory organization of array, and operation we are performing. Today what we will do, we'll take a basic definition of what is sparse matrix and how to represent that sparse matrix. From first, what we can say, in first year, do you know that what is sparse matrix?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, fine.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll move ahead. Okay, first four things you know, na? One dimension array, two dimension array, representation, and operation. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll move over there. Okay, this simple slide indicates the difference between linear and non-linear data structure. Whatever we have discussed in previous two slides, it is simply formed in a, what we can say, in a difference wala manner. So what you can do, you take a snapshot also, because the same contents are there. I'm not going to read it one more time. Take a snapshot. Again, this is a 3-mark question. Write a write a difference between linear and non-linear data structure. So if you are having again pen, paper, or your choice, make a snapshot of this. Okay, this is one more important point from according to end semester examination. Okay, so I hope you noted it down. Okay, shall I move further? Okay, on simple arrays, same operation we can perform. You can traverse, search, insert, delete, sort, merge, or reversing. Okay, these are the operations we can perform on an array. Okay, as I told you, the list of operations. Similarly, all those operations are applicable on array as well. Okay, now we'll move ahead to the sparse matrix. Okay, what is the matrix? Anyone can anyone can give me the meaning of matrix? Okay, tell me the answer of this question. Matrix is nothing but you are representing in a what we can say, two-dimension array. Am I right? True or false? Compulsory you have to represent matrix in two-dimension array. Am I right?
No, ma'am.
No. Then how you are representing matrix? How you represent matrix? Okay, I'll write one example. Just a moment. Please, someone mute those who are. Uh, okay, just a minute. I'll share the screen. One second. Yeah, I opened Word file. Okay, can I say this is if I want to say what is the size of this integer, a of, what is the size of this? Recall?
3 by 3.
Yeah, it's 3 by 3. Yes, it's 3 by 3. Why this is so? 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. 3 rows are there, and here you have 3 column. One, this first column, this is second and third. Right? 3 rows are there and 3 columns are there. So I want to represent this as a format of 2-dimensional array, and it is in the form of matrix actually. So I don't know if you have performed the programs on 2-dimensional array in first year. 2D array, you perform the programs, matrix addition, subtraction. Yes. Perform, na? Yeah, that's why it is called as matrix. So someone said no, na? You're not representing matrix in 2-dimensional array. Someone said false. So I got doubt on whether you performed or not. Okay, so let it be. Yeah, this is 3 by 3 2-dimensional array consisting of 3 rows and 3 columns. As we are calling this as a normal matrix, okay, or 2-dimensional array. Now, what is the meaning of sparse matrix? Sparse matrix is the matrix in which, see, listen carefully, the sparse matrix is the matrix in which most of the elements are 0. Okay. By contrast, if suppose most of the elements are non-zero, then such matrix is called as dense matrix. I hope you heard or not, but okay, let it be. Sparse, and second one is called as a dense. Okay. Now, what is the difference? Sparse matrix is the matrix where most of the elements are 0, and dense matrix is the matrix where more non-zero elements are present. Okay, so if suppose I have removed, in above example, I have removed 80 and I am representing 0 over here. Okay, is it visible? So this matrix is called as a dense matrix. Why? Because non-zero elements are more, less zero elements are there. Okay. Sparse matrix is a matrix where most of the elements are 0. Okay, I'll change it. Now see what is the difference over here. 0, here 0, again 0. Okay, so again I remove one thing. Okay, this is the matrix. Okay, if you observe the 3 by 3 matrix over here, I hope the slide is the screen is visible. In this 3 by 3 matrix, only 2 elements are there, this 20 and 40, which are non-zero elements. Okay, remaining all elements in this 3 by 3 matrix. So total how many elements? 3, 3, 3. 9 elements are there. Am I right? So in 9 elements, if you have more number of zeros and less number of non-zero element or positive number, this is called as a sparse matrix. Okay, the definition is the sparse matrix in which most of the elements are 0. Okay, if this case is not applicable, this is called as a dense matrix. Dense matrix means hardly fewer 0 are there, more positive numbers are there. Okay, now how to represent this sparse matrix? I'll again shift the screen. Just wait. I hope you're getting the definition of sparse matrix. Yes, no?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, okay. Now I'll again go to the slideshow. Okay, see the definition I have posted over here. Sparse matrix is the matrix in which most of the elements are 0, and if most of the elements are non-zero, it is called as a dense matrix. Okay, now see, the question has been asked whether it is a sparse matrix. You can see how many positive numbers or non-zero number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. if only 8 elements are there, which is a non-zero. Okay, tell me what is the size of this 2 by 2 dimension array? What is the size of this? Just I
7
have
by
7
7.
by 7.
yeah
7 by
7 by
7.
7, right? Previously I have shown you the example of 3 by 3. This is your 7 by 7. In the 7 by 7, so how many elements will be there? In 3 by 3, total 9 elements were there. In 7 by 7, how many elements should be there?
49.
49,
49.
right? Right. So from that only 8 elements are non-zero elements. So that's why yes, it is called as a sparse matrix. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what is the disadvantage of the sparse matrix? Is there any disadvantage you found in this complete type? No? Okay, I tell you. See, uh, whenever I'm representing 3 by 3 matrix, right? So the memory, as we know that everything whatever you are declaring, the memory has been created according to the type of a data you want to store. Okay, now what is the meaning of this type of a data you want to store? Is nothing but you are if suppose I'm using integer, so the total number of bytes will be created according to the integer value, right? So 2 bytes will be created for the integer. If the size of a array is bigger, multiple number of bytes will be created, and so and so. So for 3 by 3, how many total number of bytes will be created? Tell me. Each element requires 2 bytes of memory. 3 by 3 array gives you 9 elements. Am I right? So what is the size?
18 bytes.
Yeah, 18
18.
bytes will be created. Now for this, how many total number of bytes will be created? It gives you 49 elements. Each required 2 bytes.
98
98.
bytes. 98.
Yeah, yeah. So you are getting what I have tried to say. Okay, so total number of bytes will be created depending upon the type of data you have stored. Now, if you have a sparse matrix, right, and if you are storing the value 0 to the matrix, so if there is a 0, why should I waste the space for storing this kind of a element? I could arrange or I could manage my memory in a such a way that I will only store the information where non-zero elements are present. Okay, so non-zero elements are there like 5, 4, 7, 3, 2, one more 2, 1, 8 are non-zero elements. So what I can do is I can allocate or show the representation of my sparse matrix in a such a way that I can only allocate the space for this part. Okay, so how should I represent it? Okay, there is a special way to represent the sparse matrix, or it is also called as a sparse matrix representation. So what are the ways to represent the sparse matrix? The first way is a normal row, that is normal row major and column major representation, where a lot of memory would be wasted for storing the zero. The normal way, just now we discussed this one, where you are storing all the values of zero into the into your 2 by 2 array, and a lot of memory will get wasted just because you are storing zero. This is a normal way. Okay. there is one more special way where the alternative approach is you are only storing non-zero elements so that lot of memory space can be saved. Okay, now how and exactly what is the manner of this alternative approach for storing only the non-zero element? So I'll go to the next one. Okay, see, this one was our previous example where we have highlighted where non-zero elements are there. Okay, the non-zero elements are represented, and we are seeing now the second approach. Okay, the common way of representing non-zero elements of sparse matrix is three tuple form. Three tuple format in the sense in a single curly bracket with the help of commas you are providing three elements. That is a three tuple format. Okay, now what is that format is? This is called as a three tuple form. The format is nothing but each non-zero element is stored in a row with the first and second element of this row containing row and column at which element is present in the original matrix, and third element is the row store that what exactly the actual value. Okay, don't go by this definition, it's somewhat confusing. I'll tell you the example. Okay, only consider second approach for representing sparse matrix. Here it is three tuple format. Now what is three tuple format? See the example. The slide is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, three tuple form of storing non-zero element is first three tuple is row comma column comma actual value, right? This is three tuple separated by comma, three entities. Okay, first indicates row, second indicates column, third indicates actual value. Meaning if I have non-zero element 5, you can see in the example third point 0 3 5, where 0 is nothing but the row number, 3 is nothing but the column number, and 5 is nothing but the actual value that you are representing in the matrix. Means at row number 0, row and column number 3, where row and column are intersecting with one another, what exactly the value is present, this value is nothing but a 5. Okay, so see this. Yeah, we have written. Okay, I have come back to the matrix format where you have highlighted with the non-zero elements. We have 0 3 5. You can see first 0 is row number, next 0 is a next number is 3 is column number, and 5 is nothing but the actual value represented at the actual location of 0 3. The intersection 0 3 gives you actual number. So what I did with all those non-zero element, what was the three tuple format on all this highlighted part, I have written over here 0 3 5. This is the first element. 114, you can see 114, row number 1, column number 1, and the actual value is 4. Okay, next I have 157. One number is row, 5 number is column. Sorry, I made a mistake, I guess. 157 is there. Instead of that, what should be? It should be 167. Am I right? Not 5. It should be 167, and so on. Okay. Now, can anyone give me the location, or can anyone give me the three tuple format for 8? Value number 8. Give me three tuple format.
6 to 8. 6
Correct. 6 to 8 is the tuple format for 8. Okay, so this is the second approach we are discussing as a three tuple format. Okay, if anyone how you write it and all. Okay, you can take a snapshot or you can write it down, this part, three tuple format of representing a sparse matrix. row, column, and actual value. Okay, written or stick to the snapshot. Okay, now what I'll do, this one, okay, I'll change my screen just a minute. As we are discussing all the time, we need to discuss the application as well. Okay, just a moment. Yeah. Yeah, I have. Okay, I am in Notepad. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the next one I want to give you the applications of sparse matrix. Okay, now as I told you every time, just look at here and there, everything is organized as a data structure. Okay, the basic example first I'll tell you. First is the solving of linear equation, where you can, if many terms are missing in your linear equation, you can solve it by sparse matrix by taking only non-zero element. Okay. Second application I want to give you, the best one is, see, online registration. What is this spelling? Online registration data, or you can say customer registration. Okay. Can anyone give me? Can anyone tell me why I am writing this as an application of sparse matrix? Have you filled any form, online form, where it asks you for registering something? Yeah, most of you have
Yes.
already filled multiple forms. Okay, even you buy something or you are filling out on Amazon and all, here you are filling some form. Can anyone justify me why I am writing online registration as a sparse matrix application? No one. Okay, I'll tell you. See, online registration forms ask you some fields like, okay, I hope all of you are listening me. Yeah, it asks you some name, again, what your age or gender and all and something. Okay, then it asks you phone number, it asks you one more, birth date. Okay, now, okay, like this. Okay, so in online registration form, see, some of the fields are marked as a star. What does the mean? Some
It is
fields are
important.
not,
Mandatory ones.
yeah, it is important, mandatory ones. Yes, I am not writing or I am not giving birth date star. Okay, I am not mentioning birth date as a compulsory field, as a condition to store my value or to submit my form. Okay, I'm okay, not even age. Okay, I removed it. Okay, name, gender, and phone. This is the compulsory field in my registration form, while age, your birth date is not a mandatory form. Means if you have not filled anything over here, uh, your form will get submitted. Meaning, what your sparse matrix is doing, sparse matrix is storing the value which are positive one, but ignoring the value which are zeros one. Okay. only mandatory fields are filled, or you can say the submitted, or it not bother you, or it won't stop you from submitting your information. So only mandatory fields are filled. Okay, mandatory fields, name, gender, and phone number. Meaning, in my form, whatever important are getting filled, same thing you are doing in a 3-tuple format. What are the important or non-zero elements are there, you are only storing it in a 3-tuple format. Am I right? Are you getting the relation of online registration data and representation of sparse matrix? Any doubt over here?
No.
Right? Am I right? Can I say that this is the application of sparse matrix? Right? Only mandatory field you are considering and storing. Also, the people who generated this form, they only want your name, gender, and phone number. They are not interested in your what is age and what is your birth date. Whatever the important task or important information they want, they utilize that information. They give details like consider the Amazon, for example. If gender is mentioned as a male, your phone or your Facebook will come with the all information of male products like your t-shirts and all, whatever the requirements or whatever men usually buys, those informations are reflected over there. Okay, if girls are there, gender is mentioned as a female. Jewelry wala types, your different types of clothes come. Okay, depending upon this, they are considering only the important data. They are absolutely ignoring your birthday. They don't want to wish you, right? There is no business with the your birth date and that. They are only bothering about my data is my product is there and it should be sold on to the people who are registering it. So they try all the maximum possibilities to reach you to with their own product. Okay, so mandatory fields are important. So I hope you are getting the application of sparse matrix in okay, social media, Facebook, and here I absolutely writing friend, friend, okay, friend to friend relationship is the sparse matrix. So why I am saying this? Friend to friend relationship is a sparse matrix. Yeah, it's not. Yep. Okay, why I am saying so? See, there are millions, billions of people who are using Facebook. Every user, listen carefully, every Facebook user is not the friend of every other user. Okay, not don't consider other people. I'm on a Facebook. You all are on a Facebook. We are not friends. I'm right on a friend on Facebook itself. Meaning, every user on a Facebook is not a friend with the another user. Okay, but they are still there. Where if I'm not the friend of any person, in the sense in the matrix it will be marked as a 0. Okay, now if a new friend request comes to you, they have find out that there are some mutual friend exist between you and the one to whom you send the friend request. Okay, so meaning the fields, as we are storing the fields which are important, it is marked. Those who are not important, it is marked as a 0. Means to me, between you and me, okay, the element is mentioned as a 0, but someone is there as a mutual friend between me and someone, the number will be marked as a positive number or the non-zero number. Am I right? So the importance of or the thing, only the application gives you the information about where the friend is there, element is present. The friend is not there, element is marked as a 0. But all are there on a matrix, or we can say, but all are there on a application Facebook. Am I right? to with someone, if it is there, the positive number is there. If with someone, if it is not a friend, a 0 is written. Like your matrix or sparse matrix, 0 are written on a sparse matrix, but we have not counted it in that format. Same platform is for the Facebook itself. All are there, but not a friend of one another. All not a friend of one another. Okay, so I can say that this is the these are the three basic applications of a sparse matrix, where you can count solving linear equation. Only non-zero elements you can consider for solving at. Only mandatory fields you can consider as a important one for online registration, and a friend-to-friend relationship that exists on a bigger platform like a Facebook. You can consider this as a representation of non-zero elements and the zero elements. Okay, so I hope you are getting what is the applications of a Facebook. Now coming back, okay, those who are writing it down or taking snapshot of it, just record it. Applications of these 3 points, because in a PPT I have not written it actually, so that's why I have opened this notepad. So just record it as I shared chapter 1 PPT. After completion of first chapter, I also going to share the chapter 2 PPT. But the things whatever are not mentioned, I'll clearly tell you. Yes, this is not mentioned in PPT. So please record it. Okay, applications of sparse matrix. Okay. Then the one more point is remaining, transpose of sparse matrix, that will cover in next lecture actually. But here I want to discuss. Okay, I hope it is you recorded. I move to next point. See, we are discussing sparse matrix, which is absolutely regarded with the array. Okay, there are some limitations of array, or we can say the disadvantage of array. I'll simply write some disadvantage. You check whether you agree or not. Disadvantages, yeah, disadvantages of arrays. Disadvantage is there must be a prior knowledge. Okay, I won't write some complete statements. Prior knowledge, number of elements in array. The prior knowledge, okay, necessary, yeah, I'll write necessary prior knowledge of number of elements. Okay, I can write required in array. This is my first disadvantage of array. Means I want to say like, yeah, I want to say like example, I must know what is the size of array, like A of 5. Necessary of prior knowledge of how many number of elements you are going to store into the array. This is the first disadvantage of array. Second, you can say that this is the static structure. Yeah, this is a static structure, meaning your memory which is allocated, the memory which is allocated at your compile time, memory allocated at compile time, which cannot be, we can say, reduced or extended. It is a static structure. The memory which is allocated at the compile time, it cannot be reduced or extended, right? Last one, or I can say the last limit or last advantage, the traversing of array is time consuming. Yeah, the traversing of array is time consuming, meaning if I want to go to location number A of 10, for example, sorry, A of 10, I have to go for my for loop has to go for I is equal to 0 onwards. Up to it will reaches to the perfect location. So these are some disadvantages of your array. Okay, to overcome all those disadvantages, a technique comes. It is called as a linked list. Yes. So as I'm telling you right from the beginning, both are the methods. So this method overcomes all these limitations or disadvantages of array, where there is no need for static allocation, like compulsory I have to write A of 5, and you should not have if you should not have a prior knowledge of how many elements you are going to store into the memory. Not necessary that. At a runtime, see, there is a difference, compile time and runtime. Okay, compile time is when you compile your program, the thing is happened, and runtime is when your actually program is running into the when it is loaded into the memory. At runtime you can manipulate anything. Okay, so at a runtime procedure, if you want, everything is happened with the linked list. Okay, so no prior number of elements has to be stored, no static data structure need to be done. It will called as a dynamic data, or you can say dynamic structure. Okay, why this is so? Because static structure performs memory allocation at the compile time, and the dynamic structure performs memory allocation at run time. Okay, so the disadvantage will be overcome in the link. So traversing is the time consuming. So as you are not considering this as a sequential or number of bound elements like 5, you can have linked list with any extension of number at a runtime also. So you can create these things at the runtime. So traversing is minimized because simply you are directly considering memory locations. If I want to visit to the location number 10, I can directly consider the memory location where the value is presented. So that's why these three are bigger disadvantages. To overcome this, we require linked list. Okay, so as I told you, these are methods. So both methods have the advantages and disadvantages. According to that, you can run. Okay, so that is from my side for today's lecture. Transpose of sparse matrix is remaining, that will take in the next lecture. So any doubt for this? Okay, are you agree with these three disadvantages? Yeah, this is correct. Whenever we are working with the C program, these three things are most. Yeah, so take a snapshot, or if you are recording it by writing it pen or paper, you write it, because in a question you have write a difference between array and linked list will be the questions. Okay, difference between array and linked list. So that will be the next question. But as again I tell you, whenever we complete linked list part, you will come to know what is linked list. Okay, but simply we are focusing up to this part, array. Okay, so note it down, what is the difference, or if any doubt from the today's lecture, you just tell me, we'll clarify it. Getting what is sparse matrix, what is linear data structure, non-linear data structure, sequential access, random access, what we have discussed, sequential access, random access, linear data structure, non-linear data structure, meaning of sparse matrix, two ways to represent sparse matrix, with zeros, without zeros. when you are doing without zeros, it is 3 tuple format, 1 row, column and actual value. Okay, so just for your homework or not homework, just for your working. So what I'll do, wait a minute, just if you are aware about how to write 3 tuple format, I'll simply give you one example. You draw the matrix of this. Okay, just wait a minute. I'll stop sharing. Okay, consider this 3 by 3 matrix. Yeah, I have shared the screen. I want to remove this elements all. Okay, so these are the values. You have to draw the matrix. Give 0, 0, 2. Next value I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is possible. Next one I can say 2, 1, 4. For the homework or just for the sparse matrix information, just draw the matrix of these three, these value. First one row, second one is column, and third one is actual. Okay, so shall we end up today? Okay, you got new, next lecture at 11:30. I already consumed 4 more minutes of yours. Okay, I'll stop here. Okay, so thank you everyone. Bye.